Yo, what's up? We actually are doing Tech Week this week rather. It's your boy Keith Perrin, host of Yo Tech This Out, a new series, a part of A16Z Tech Week, New York, where we are showcasing thought, leadership, badass technology, and innovation. My special guest today is my man, my homie, known for a long time, my man Vinny. I don't want to call it your whole government. I got to call you government.
Vin Rock, Naughty
Vin
by
Rock,
Nature. You know what it is.
Naughty by Nature. Y'all know who it is. What's going on, man? How you been, man?
I'm good, man. Just here in the building, you know?
Yeah.
Celebrating Tech Week, right?
Yeah. My man Mike was like, yo, you going to be surprised when you sit down and chop it over Vin. He is smart with that tech shit. I was like, okay, let me figure it out. How has the evolution of hip-hop from its origins to what you're calling Hip-Hop 3.0 influence your music by Naughty by Nature sound?
Well, really, Naughty by Nature, we've been on a break, but KG and I, we have a new project called Illtown Sluggers.
Okay.
So we have Slugger the Bear, the mascot. This is him right here. And it's artist, record label artist development. So now that we're working with younger artists and today's music, man, it's all about connecting with the younger cats who's using the latest technology. And then in particular, you see what's going on right now with all the AI generated music, you know? So we're dabbling into that. I mean, we're using that stuff in every aspect of what we do, from merchandise, like this is an AI generated graphic here, to our music. As Slugger, it's a DJ hype set. So it's primarily KG and I with a DJ mascot, you know, besides the artists we're developing. So we go out and we've been smashing it. We've been out with New Kids on the Block, doing DJ mashups and everything. But now our content creator, Eric Elfstrom, when he, you know, comes out and films us, a lot of the interlude stuff that we're doing in our recap clips, totally generated by AI. The music, the rap, the everything we're doing. So
man, this AI thing, man. I heard a Drake diss the other day. I don't know if you heard it on TikTok, and it was like way left, like something that Drake would never say. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost scary because I was talking to a friend of mine as well, and I said, he's like, yo, you need to write a book. And I'm like, write a book? I was like, but put it through AI.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I put some things through AI, and it kind of spoke like I don't speak. So,
right.
But he said the new 4.0 was way different. Like, it will go grab certain things and actually write the book exactly how you speak.
Right. And you still have the ability to punch it up, you know, whether it's music, whether it's, you know, literature, whether it's art, you still could go in and punch it up and talented people. So all it is a tool. I think a lot of people are paranoid about the technology. And there are rightful concerns, you know, but I think at this point, it's just the Wild Wild West. And as legislation goes and, you know, SAG-AFTRA and all of the unions, as they tighten up and, you know, you kind of put things in order, then it'll fall into place. Like, people were just as paranoid about the internet, you know what I mean? or social media or phones, you know? So I think time has proven that, for one, technology and the human experience is going to keep evolving. And for two, one thing's for sure, if you're not up on it, you're going to get left behind.
It's almost like computers. Like you mentioned computers. I know people today that still... Damon John, the infamous Damon John, didn't use a computer until like 2010.
Right.
Like, he didn't want anything to do with the computer. I was like, bro, you got to use this computer, man. This is where it's going. So he figured it out, and he finally got on board. But like you said, people are nervous about new technology. I know a couple of years ago when it first came out, everyone that I knew in my field was like, oh, I'm not messing with the AI. No, I don't want to mess with that AI. And then he had a class. Damon actually brought a teacher around to the office and start teaching us about AI. And once I got the inside scoop,
Right.
I felt totally different about it.
Right.
But I know how some people feel about it, though.
Well, and another thing is, especially in our minority communities, these are those times that we should be in. And whether you have a concern about it or not, this is the time to get in, to get educated, and to be on par with what's happening, because these are the times when the money is made and big wealth, is made and generated. So when you miss these moments, it really sets you back an entire generation. And then you can't blame the man or whomever, because it's really open source and it's a free for all,
Yeah. So, I got a list of questions for you. I want to make sure I stay on point. You know what I'm saying? I'm not throwing nothing out my head. We're going to jump off here and there, but I want to make sure I get to these questions.
Yeah.
Hip-hop has since evolved from two turntable mic and a DJ to Vinny. Where are we today?
Oh, man. We are in electronics where you see people are programming and pressing buttons and literally doing beats live in real time at concerts,
Yeah.
So the DJ has evolved. First and foremost, the DJ has evolved from a DJ to a producer. That's how our guy KG was.
Right.
He started as a DJ scratching, then he got into the sampling, then he got into the beat machines, and now he's a full-blown producer.
Yeah.
Well, that position now, especially in EDM and a lot of different music genres, they have evolved into DJ / producer / just vibing out live off of a crowd and creating beats and music and vibes in real time. So that's crazy with what's going on right now.
Yeah, one of my little young bucks. Damn, I'm about to mess his name up. Wow, my boy. He does all the EDM stuff. Why I can't remember his name right now? I know he's gonna kill me when he sees this. He gonna be like, "You forget my name." We call him Diamante. That's his real name.
Okay.
But I'm lost. I can't even remember what his DJ name is right now, because I know he changed it a couple times. But he started like that. He was a producer. He went down to ATL. He was doing beats and just doing it for a couple of years, working with Gucci Mane and all these cats down there. And then before you know it, he's doing EDM. I see him on EDM sets and making all these crazy beats. And he's doing beats with Dre. And I'm like,
right.
What the hell? So, I do see where it's evolving. And like you said, when we grew up, it was two cats and a DJ on stage, and that was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There wasn't no dats. There wasn't none of that stuff. Nigga.
And it was actually carrying crates. I remember, everyone always hears and have heard Biggie talking about the Howard homecomings. But I remember we got on just before Biggie, but we were at a Howard homecoming, and somehow, some way, and we have the picture of it, Biggie and we went to a party with Ron G. So Biggie and I literally carried the crates for Ron G to his party, yo. Wow. And we hung out with Ron G for the night, and then Big, he was just on the come up. Yeah. And there was a backdrop. He's like, Vin, let's take a picture together. So it was one of those backdrop pictures, and they printed it out on a Polaroid. And I still have the fold out where Biggie wrote his number on it, Man, but that was all at a Ron G party, and we were literally carrying crates for Ron back then.
Those, we can't get those times back, man, but those were some really special times, man.
Yeah.
We were young, we didn't know which way things were going, what I mean?
Right.
But we were figuring it out on the fly, and then just to be able to get to that point where everybody started getting money. Because I remember in the 90s, it was like, y'all was already doing y'all thing, and a lot of other cats, we was just looking at y'all. Like I was telling Cheeks the other day, just sitting there vibing out to his song,
right? While
we trying to create. Like this is something like, we aspiring to get the Lex Benz and Jeep and the
Beamers in the Benz.
And the Beamers in the Benz. You know what I'm saying? We was trying to get all of that back then, and we would listen to that consistently every day. Like that was motivating. You know what I mean?
Just grind. And I remember, Keith, I know we go to, we got history, so we're gonna talk, man. But I remember we opened our retail store, Naughty Gear, in 1994. You guys came in. I had my guy Kevin Jackson, my childhood friend. He was managing the store. We remember when FUBU, you guys came in there, Damon and the guys came in there with your first big FUBU, the tackle tool application tee. Y'all came in there and dropped those tees in our store on consignment.
Yeah, we could.
That was the very early days of FUBU, man.
Listen, man, it was so many things that we did, like, was early, like, especially when, like you said, on consignment. Like, Cash wasn't paying us to get no, you know what I'm saying, to leave our clothes. Like, so we was either like, yo, we're going to leave it and you're going to sell it. And we had to, you know, like, have that relationship. Like, yo, they're going to pay us our money. Like, they signed these papers. But, yeah, it's just things that we did that was so, it was almost like prehistoric now. Like, when you think about things. Well,
you know, and it's not that it's prehistoric. That is, no matter what happens in life, like this whole world could crash. Those are the habits that all of our young people need to understand. That hand-to-hand grind, that personality. I think, you know, the gift and the curse of this tech is that people are too reliant on it. You know what I mean? But you have to go out here, press palms, kiss the babies, hug the people, and build real relationships. And something like consignment is one of those more intimate relationships. If you putting that trust up in someone, you're trusting each other because, hey, if you have retail spaces, like something else could go there. But if you put your product in my store, I'm trusting that you're going to go out there and do your thing so people come in and buy the product. You know what I mean? So all of that stuff is just guerrilla tactics that everyone still needs to this day. And those who forget about it or never use it, they're at a disadvantage of those who are going to use the old school analog and the tech tactics.
So let me ask you a question, because I speak to a lot of people, especially young kids, and they want, what I see, just from my, you know, from me looking in, is they want it microwavable. And when I tell people, even when I go speak to kids and I say, listen, can you work on your business for 4 years without getting a check, but it's growing and you see it turning the corner? Nobody raises their hand.
Right.
And I'm like, but I say your company, not someone else's company, your company.
Right.
Nobody raises their hand. And I'm like, wow. So then when I tell them my story and how we grinded and when money was coming back, we was just putting it back in the company and then going back out and doing the same thing over and over for 4 years before we saw the gradual building of it. But the monetary part of it was not going into our pockets, but we were seeing some money come back. So we just kept, you know, we were like, you know what? Let's keep grinding and we'll get there.
Exactly.
And before you know it, you know, because everything is in God's timing, man. So
yeah, definitely. And I think what a lot of young people need to realize is that in pursuit of, you can always take a part-time job, part-time, full-time job, and then that's the money you live off of or rely on, and then the extras or while you're building the business, that's what you sacrifice.
Wow. This is a great conversation, man. I'm glad you pulled up. You know what I'm saying? I was waiting for you to get here. Next question. With 30 years of experience in the industry, what advice do you have for upcoming artists trying to make their mark in hip-hop?
For upcoming artists, first and foremost, if you're looking for the quick cash grab, just stop it, you know, and go and get a job, because Burger King and fast food are now $15, $20 an hour. If you want a quick buck, go there, you know what I mean? For two, Tretch has a saying now, there's more artists than fans. You know, that means everyone is rapping and singing and doing. So the market is super duper crowded right now. For three, as you see with all of this tech, Spotify, the DSPs, they have demonetized music. So, you know, back in the day, at least we could go hand to hand with cassettes, mixtapes, CDs. We can go hand to hand, which is another guerrilla tactic that people are reverting back to right now, you know? So mainstream though, commercially, you used to have that physical product, and it is coming back now, but it's not as practical because everyone isn't consuming or playing music on a record player or a CD player. So really right now, you know, when you see Taylor Swift with the vinyl and Nicki Minaj with the CDs, it's more of a token, you know. You grab that, it's a keepsake, it's a collectible, and then when you go to the concert and do the meet and greet, you get it signed, you know. So there's all these variables out there. So if you're looking for the quick buck, just know the music is demonetized and it's going to be harder for you to make that money. So with that being said, any artists out there, you have to love what you're doing, no matter what you do in life. You have to love it. And I say, instead of the cash grab, just study the craft, love the art, and do it for the love of it. And if you're going to do it for the love of it, eventually it'll show. Because right now, all of the consumers, they're like, music is coming at them every day, every which way. So there's a lot of competition out there.
It was a lot of competition back then.
Yeah, but it's even more now because of the internet.
Yeah, now it's
everyone's going up. Cats are going up off their phone, going live. I mean, it's so much, and it's all about attention right now, right? So you have so many people up, and everyone's vying for everyone's attention. So if you're not going to do something unique, if you're not going to do something that's passionate, that's going to touch the people, if you don't put the people first, more than likely you're going to fail. But love what you do, man, and do it with a passion, and eventually you'll connect those dots.
Yeah. Great advice, man. Great advice. Because I know a lot of kids today, they want to they want to be a rapper. And I'm like, listen, won't you be a producer? Won't you be an engineer? Those lanes are crowded, but they're not as crowded as these rappers. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't have to try to be somebody you're not. Because a lot of times these young kids, they look at these artists and they want to mimic them, and they, they talk about this, or they doing these drugs, or they promoting this and they promoting that, and then they want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And
they think that's the way.
I totally hate drug songs.
Right.
I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, and I know like with FUBU Radio, sometimes I got to play certain songs to attract certain people or to keep the audience lit because this is what they're used to. But personally, I'm just like, we can do better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially now because today's drugs are designer drugs, and they're designed to grip you and never let you go, especially with these opioids and the tainted stuff with the fentanyl. So, that junkie culture, that's not it. And, I want to encourage a lot of artists today, too, to just study your history, study the old school, and study what the content was about, We had different eras, from Melly Mel and them, about the message, to, the whole Afrocentric part with Public Enemy and X-Clan and, Tribe Called Quest. We had that flyness in it. We were proud of ourselves. Even in the female age, we had MC Lyte and Queen Latifah talking about your blackness and strong black women. And of course, there is an evolution. But if we're hitting a wall now and people don't like today's music, you young people should study the history of hip hop and kind of incorporate. Sometimes you could throw back and incorporate some of those themes in your music, and now you have something different than the run of the mill.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a 25-year-old kid. I said, yo, you don't listen to Rakim and Eric B? He said, who? I said, Eric B and Rakim. Because I thought I said it, when I said it, Rakim and Eric B, I thought I said it wrong. So
right.
I reversed it the way it's supposed to be. And he was like, who's that?
Right.
And I'm like, bro, you want to be a rapper? You're 25 years old, and you don't know who Eric B and Rakim is?
Right.
So it's kind of crazy when I hear things like that. So, because sometimes you can have this smartphone in your hand
and be dumb
and be the dumbest mother something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how could you have all this knowledge in your hand and don't search? Like,
right.
But
I think it kind of goes both ways as well, because as you see, the internet has exploded today because Red and Meth did Summer Jam, and Meth was like, yo, that's not my crowd. I'm never coming back. If you look on the internet, it's like that. So
the recent one?
Yeah. This was just yesterday. Yeah. And, Red and Meth are the great showmanships out there. But I guess, I've been there before where you're rocking a crowd and they looking at you and just don't feel you. But that doesn't mean that they don't feel you. Maybe it's something that they haven't seen and haven't been used to, and they're watching it and figuring it out. You know what I mean? So I think it's up to us as veterans to kind of, you have to stay in the mix, man, and stay out here and kind of mix it up. You know what I mean? You mix it up with these young people.
Because that's the same thing as FUBU. Like, as much success as we had, I don't never take it for granted, like, oh, somebody knows me or they supposed to know who I've never, ever been like that from day one. But I know that yesterday is yesterday.
Right.
Today is today, and it's not what you did yesterday. What are you doing today?
Right.
So you got to keep yourself relevant, no matter if you switching your field or you doing different things, or you trying to explore different things. You know, but one thing you got to do, even with FUBU Radio, like I built it, but I was like, okay, I didn't build it like, oh, it has FUBU, everybody's gonna come, they're gonna listen to it, and that's it. I didn't build it like that. I built it like, okay, I'm gonna have to work at this.
Yep.
But then as I start going, and I'm like, well, damn, like I gotta keep going, like, you know. I mean, but a lot of it was just getting the right team, getting the right people around me, right? Once I got the right people around me, I was like, okay, now that I got the right people around me, it's time to get the visuals up. Now that I got the visuals up, I got the team, I got the shows running, everything. Okay, let's do the marketing. So now I'm starting to see growth, and you know, I'm not saying I'm just seeing growth because I've been seeing growth all along, but I'm starting to see jumps now. You know, whereas before it was like shh, now it's like boop.
Well, I think another thing is we have to realize when we started in the 90s, early 90s, you know, we were young. Now that we're older, we got to realize kids weren't even born in our heyday, you know, so we can't take for granted that everyone knows us, you know. We could understand that our age group knows us, but this is the beauty of art that I always say. So many people are born every day, and then they're aging up to where they are like preteen, teen consumers. For us, it's great because, hey, at this point, some of our audience is dying off. A lot of our audience is dying off. But the beauty of art and creativity and marketing is that you always have a new audience to capture. So no matter what you did in the 90s, you have a brand new audience to remarket, rebrand to, and I love that, you know? And I think for us as black entrepreneurs, minority entrepreneurs, we have to look at every other brand. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Nike, Adidas. They don't stress that, hey, we broke in the 70s and we're worried nobody is checking for what we did in the 70s. No, they stay young, fresh, current, and Pepsi is Pepsi is Pepsi, Coke is Coke is Coke. And they're keeping it rocking. But RC Cola and a couple of those other ones that fell off, it's like, but you have to have that guerrilla mentality, you know?
Nah, for sure, for sure. Man, listen. Whew. Next question, man. Let me get to this. I know we got to get through this. As a group, Naughty by Nature had a significant impact on hip-hop culture. What technologies are you using to keep your legacy alive?
I use everything, you know. First and foremost, my smartphone.
Yeah, I see you got the...
I got the Fold. I always loved the Fold. And I've always loved Android phones because they're always first with different form factors. I remember, I come from Windows Mobile days where we had the stylus. And then, you know, my boy turned me on to Android, but from the form factors to larger screens to, you know, the foldables, they're always first. So I always like to evolve with that. And then, for one, I keep a technologist with me. So we have KG with our studio. He and his team, they're always rocking out. Two things that I do. I keep a technologist on deck. That's my guy, Greg Karen. He's out of Canada, but he runs all of our e-com. He's my guy that, you know, he studies all new trends in tech. So we're always the first on that. And then my content creator, you know what I mean? And then we use all the apps that's out there, you know, all of the social apps, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, you know. You have to have a profile across all of these platforms. And hey, man, you just keep cranking out the content because right now it's a content creator's game, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And I know, like, for me, because I manage all my videos and put everything up. Like, I'm almost like a one-man band, but I do have a team. But I know what look I want to achieve and what, you know, how I want to structure what I'm doing. And for us, it's just been, you know, I got a lot of young kids that I know that look up to me. So I constantly call, yo, what's up? What's going on? What you working on? It was good. What's the new thing out there? Like, and we joke and we laugh and be like, all right, grandfather, listen. They, you know, we have fun with it, but they tell me and they keep me, you know, even my little brother, he's in his 30s, so he keeps me up on everything. Like, yo, Keith, you know, check this out. You heard this, you heard that, or peep this video, or peep that video. So he's always, you know, you keep a nice crowded kids like that around me.
Well, another space that I'm really excited about is the metaverse space. So
Yeah.
from, Meta Horizons to, we were in AltSpace VR. That was Microsoft's ecosystem, but they closed it out. So now we just ported all of our worlds over to Spatial. And I like Spatial because you could use the headset and it's mobile and Android. So for me, we just ported all of our worlds. We built like 9 different worlds over there. And we ported them over, and now we're about to start programming more, and we even have a retail store there, so you could run your avatar over there, point, click, but you could go to the real website. So now we're working on making everything a digital twin. So whatever you see physically on our website, you could make it for your avatar, digital avatar.
Yeah,
and
I just
around.
jumped in that metaverse world with FUBU Radio, so I'm
Yeah.
like building everything up right now.
Yep,
so.
that VR chat. So Spatial, VR chat, Meta Horizons. Those are the 3 worlds. Tons of, especially, minority developers and tons of great talent out there. So that space is going to continue to evolve. And as we do more blockchain and Web3 stuff, and everything is tied to the blockchain and is more tokenized, it's going to be a great space to grow in. And again, that's one of these spaces where great wealth creation is happening now. So if you're listening out there, get up on that metaverse space.
Yeah, I mean, my man was schooling me about it, and we just kept going back and forth about it, and we was trying to figure out what the game plan for the station is going to be. So now we got a hold of that, lock that in. So now we working on that. So
Right. But that would be cool. I'll tell you what, Keith. Just like you have a monitor here, when you're doing this and when you're going live and streaming live, when you build your space, you could stream live right into the metaverse. However, you could still interact with the avatars who are in your studio. So you can have a studio audience. You'll be here raw, but you can have a studio audience in the metaverse, and they'll all be seated and they'll enjoy the program and live streaming with you.
Oh yeah.
It's dope.
I'm not as knowledgeable as you, bro, but I'm getting there.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
we could always, chop it up, man.
Nah,
and-
definitely. I'm gonna pick your brain about it because you definitely put me on to some stuff that because me, I ain't gonna lie. I'm old school, so I know when I first was approached with the metaverse, I was, man, go ahead. I don't want no goddamn metaverse.
Right.
But then it kept coming around, and I was like, all right, bro, come sit down and talk to me. Let me figure out what's really going on. And then once he talked to me and told me what was going on, I was like, okay. Gave me the real, because sometimes like I've heard it from other people, but it wasn't clicking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when I heard it from my man and he told me the way he broke it down to me, I was like, okay, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, and you know what? Another easy way to think about it is look at all the gamers who are out there. If they're playing Call of Duty and all of this stuff, that's basically a metaverse. It's almost like a 2D version of it, and you're not fully immersed, but they're in those worlds.
I could never play Tomb Raider.
Right.
My little brother sat me down, play this game. I'm like, man, I'm running into wall. I'm like, how you moving? I was like, man, go ahead.
See, and that's the thing about me. I've never liked playing video games,
Yeah,
but for metaverse and for my business, I'm like, you know what? You have your own video game here now. Then you get to run your business. Then you get to monetize, and now you get to gamify these spaces.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
Yeah, because
man.
I played sports and I played a couple of games, but I'm like an NBA, NFL type of gamer. I'm not all those other games.
Right.
I'm not with that. I can't. And then I always felt like if I could sit there for 6 hours and play a game, I could be doing something else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I just think. Period. Man, it's just we ain't got enough time in here. You know what I mean? All right, next question. In the 3.0 era of hip hop, what trends or themes do you see emerging in hip hop, and how is Naughty in Nature? Did I ask you that already?
No.
Oh, how is Naughty by Nature staying relevant and innovative?
So in Web 3.0, it's exactly what we're talking about right now.
Right.
The metaverse, tokenizing your assets. So for one, in the metaverse, we set up shop. And now with blockchain technology, Web 3.0, in our metaverse, we get to go direct to consumer. And now we'll have all of our assets there. So for one, we have a digital retail store. You can walk up, point, click, it'll take you to the real website. But now with spatial VR chat, they're going to make it where you can make a digital twin. So now just like you shop in FUBU, people and culture in the metaverse too is people change their clothes every day. So now we'll be able to tokenize all of our digital assets and mirror everything we sell in real life. We make it digital, and people could collect. The more they collect, the more you reward them, the more access they could get, whether it's in the metaverse or real life. If we're doing a screening, single release party, a video release party, anything, you have your priority customers who could come there. And again, in the metaverse, you could always do virtual and meet and greets. You know what I'm saying? And then you're grabbing people from all over the world. Like when I go in there, people are like, yo, I can't believe I'm talking to Vin from Naughty. I've been a fan for years, Yeah. And they're like, I never would be able to get this close to you. Yeah. So it's it's AI. It's just staying on top of what's trending out there. And although the space is relatively small compared to in real life, it's still going to grow and scale. So you have to sit and rock out with it, man, and grow and scale with it. You'll be ahead of the class.
You get me excited now. I'm going to have to go back to my guy and be like, listen, let's get this done ASAP.
Yeah.
ASAP. What's your thoughts on AI and its impact on creativity?
I think AI is just another tool. You know what I'm saying? It's another tool. It's another accessory. And if anything, it helps with productivity and consistency. So if you're using these tools properly, hey, you're going to be creative. You're going to be creative faster, and you'll have more product to sell. You know what I'm saying? So I don't look at it as a total negative. Of course, we do need to regulate IP, because I don't want my record label taking our classic songs and then sending it to some AI company and then remixing them and then using my voice and my likeness to remix stuff without my consent,
Yeah.
Even if I'm compensated, it's like, no, you still need my consent.
Right. I was going to say, do you think, because I know that's a big issue right now, do you think they're going to jump on that sooner than later, or?
Oh yeah, it's happening right now already. All these record labels are giving these companies their stems, and they're chefing up stuff behind the scenes anyway. That's why you've seen all of those Drake leaks, Biggie leaks, Tupac leaks. Look at what Drake did with the battle. He had Tupac and Snoop in there. You know what I mean?
That was crazy. That was crazy. I was sitting there listening, and I'm like, is that legal? You know what I'm saying? Because you in the middle of a battle, nobody wants to hear Tupac and Snoop, unless it's really Tupac and Snoop. Like if you would have put a Snoop on it, they would have been like, oh, Snoop jumped on it with him. Right. But then you know how Snoop is. Snoop would have stood up and been like, that wasn't me, that was AI.
Right.
Man, I'm curious to see where this goes, man. Because like I said, it went from people being scared, people being nervous about it, to artists not liking it, to artists starting to use it, to people starting to use it, to record labels jumping on it. I think within the next 6 months, it's going to get cleaned up a lot. You know what I'm saying? To where they don't be able to, say, use your voice to make money.
Right.
Because even now, I don't even answer the phone. People call you, I'll be like, hello?
Right.
And then they don't say nothing, I'll be like, click. Or if they do say something, I'll be like, huh? Who they mean? I try not to use my own voice.
Right.
But, if people like us, we've been out here doing tons of interviews, it's not hard to find. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's really not hard to find. All right, let me jump to the next question, man. Because like I said, we might be here all day. Chicago-inspired drill music, right?
Yeah.
Has made a big wave in New York. Unlike the days of Death Row, drill music is on steroids.
Right.
What role do technology platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok play in drill music, and should they be held responsible?
Yes, I definitely think the labels, all of these corporations, they should definitely be responsible for the product that they're out here distributing. Because at the end of the day, they're the main distributors, right? And if a major platform like a Facebook or Meta can deplatform the president of the United States, how on earth can you let these kids stream live over your platform, looking for ops, shooting out live without you deplatforming them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's definitely a bunch of accountability. And I think, again, a lot of parents, especially in these minority communities, you have to step up and understand that it's genocide going on out here, you know? What's happening in Chicago, what's happening here in New York, it's genocide, plain and simple. And it's like, if the jails are filled up, it's like, hey, here's my deterrent. We don't even want them in the jail. Let them kill themselves. Yeah. So I think us as a community as a whole, us as parents, us as legislators, us as educators, everyone should be quadrupling down on regulating and censoring what's going on out there with certain kinds of music and certain, content that our kids are being exposed to.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right. It has to be some accountability. Like, if you be able to profit off it, you should be able to be responsible for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know at one point, and even with FUBU Radio, I play clean music. Even if I do play some drill or something that's out of drill, I always play clean music, because not only do I want to represent FUBU, the brand, the clothing brand, I also want people to feel comfortable if they in their cars with their kids and they play something.
Right.
And they're not hearing the curses. Now, somebody told me, well, they're going to hear it anyway, but they won't hear it here.
That's right. They won't hear it here.
Contributing to that.
Exactly.
So, I have a hospital somewhere in California. Man, they've been playing my radio station for like 2 years straight. Like, somebody turned it on in the hospital and never turned it off.
Wow.
And I'm like, because we saw it and we were like, yo, what's this IP? We started doing our little investigation because we wanted to know who was on for 2 years straight.
Right.
And it was a hospital in California. And I was like, wow, they only able to do that because the music is clean. Because if you heard, you would be like, turn that off.
Right, exactly.
So I didn't want that, because it's hard enough trying to build something. Right. But it's harder trying to build something when you have things going against you.
Right.
Some people think it's cool. I don't want my, if I got a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, like sometimes I see parents filming their kids in the back of the car saying all kind of, and I'm like, you put that on social media?
Right.
You thought that was cute?
Just for likes.
Like, we lose our teeth.
Right.
I remember popping some gum.
Right.
And my grandmother said, boy, spit that gum out. It was fresh.
Right.
It was, when I mean fresh, it was like 5 bites in. She said, take that gum. I said, well, I ain't gonna pop that gum.
Right.
Boy, that gum popped unexpectedly, and she slapped the taste out my mouth and then was like, spit it out. I was like, phew. So I come from that era, and I know things change and everything, but...
Yeah, but still, that same parent who's letting that kid sing all of those explicit lyrics in the back of the car, then that's going on at home. How you expect that kid to act once he goes out in general public? Yeah. What happens when he goes to school and he's so disruptive and these kids don't know better? Their brain isn't even developed yet, So what kind of child are you developing to send out here to society?
Yeah, man. It's crazy. So the last question, man, I'll let you get out of here. Thanks to AI, what is the fate of hip-hop? They saw robots take the place of jobs. Will AI ultimately replace the rapper?
Nah, AI will never replace the rapper because here's the thing, man. There's nothing like the human experience. You could have all of this technology you want out here. There's nothing like this. Face to face, pressing palms. And come on, man. It's just like the girls. They always want to love a LL Cool J or a Snoop Dogg or a Naughty by Nature, and they want to follow them, they want to be like them. Same thing for the females, a Beyonce, a Taylor Swift. Come on, these girls, they see a real person and want to emulate them, want to be like them. So again, AI is a tool just to enhance real life, but you'll never, ever replace the human experience.
Yeah, and that brings me back to COVID.
Yeah.
When we was doing all those damn Zoom calls.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm not somebody that likes to work from home. I've never worked from home ever.
Right.
That was the first time, right? I was literally going crazy. I was talking to my dog, God bless him, rest in peace. I was talking to my dog because I didn't have nobody else to talk to. Because I felt like, besides my wife, but I'm used to a human experience.
Exactly.
If I'm doing something, if I'm building on something, or an idea comes about, I want to be able to turn to this, my homeboy over here and be like, yo, what you think about this? Or, get some feedback.
And you came up with a team. Come on, the whole FUBU team. So you're used to collaborating,
I'm used to having 20 meetings a week.
Right, right.
So now we're doing everything on Zoom, and then it's like, oh, let me call so-and-so. Then you call that person like, hey, I got a Zoom on in 10 minutes. I can't talk to you. I'll call you back later.
Right.
So then it was becoming like that. And it was like, well, damn, everybody's scheduled on Zoom all day, every day. So it was a little crazy. So I remember coming back outside, man, and actually I got this office when I came back outside. And just standing outside on the street in New York. Because I remember coming out here, it was nobody in the streets.
Nobody's like ghost town.
I'm standing in the streets, and I'm just people watching, bro. And
right.
I was just like, for the first couple of months, I'm just sitting out there like, it's just people. You know what I mean?
They're back.
I definitely understand what you mean when you say you need that human experience, because that's what we were built on and raised on, and that's going to be here forever unless we die. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man. Great interview, bro. I got to get you back up here, man. We got to chop it up. I told you we just saw each other not too long ago. I was going to invite you this, but this came up first.
Right.
But listen, tell people where they can reach you at. They can find your product, your website, your metaverse, everything.
All right, cool. Well, first and foremost, make it easy. Visit us at naughtybynature.com. All of our socials are there. Me personally, I'm at Uncle Vin Rock on Instagram. Then my link tree is up there. You can follow me. And then our new brand is Illtown Sluggers at Illtown, SLUGGAZ. Okay. So, we out there, man, and we're going to keep it pushing.
Yeah, man, good to see you, man. Looking good, bro.
All right, likewise, bro.
All right, I'll see you soon. Thanks for pulling up on Kizo's Corner for Check This Out Week.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
All right, bro.
Peace.